Yeah, so this time around, I don't know what's actually going on. Okujato Ablakwa has been dropping a whole lot of, secret concerning the National Cathedral. You know, he's been dropping a whole back-to-back secret concerning the National Cathedral. And a media house was having discussion regarding the National Cathedral. And Jantua, yeah, I don't know, yeah, Jantua has, shared a opinion, regarding this whole back and forth. And as I'm about to embark on the radio listening journey, I want you to join me. You know, I want you to join me, and also don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like, comment, and always stay connected. Always come back for more. My name is Jimmy Ralph, and thank you for choosing Funtime TV. Yeah, so Nanaya Jantua is speaking. Yeah, so let's go listen to her. Fun time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.
Latif, Latif done.
Which part?
That is not your business now. That is my friend. Doesn't matter the party. Baby.
You carry on.
The point is that it's his prerogative, because I don't know the background of how or who he's doing this with. If he's done his own research or he's on his own mission to unearth issues.
That's what he said. He said he's on his own and he's not being backed.
So that one is and social media to his media. You cannot negate the impact of social media, and it is his prerogative to decide which medium to use. That one nobody can fault him. But the issue is that if these whatever he has found out had been public to everybody, it wouldn't be an issue, because this is of public interest. The project is the National Cathedral. Something national concerns the nation. And so if for any reason the government decides to do or have an analogous institution outside this country, and for which reason, they should let everybody know. It has never been mentioned anywhere. I am surprised that the Secretariat have come up with a quick rebuttal.
They shouldn't have?
No, but why a rebuttal? Because if really you were informing us and telling us with all the issues around the cathedral, if you were being transparent, somebody will not be a curious judge to find out what is going on. As long as you are not telling us, you are not, informing us about it, certainly you find a curious judge who would want to know what is going on. $6 million have been paid to somebody, an American, to do what? To be a consultant for fundraising or whatever.
Secretariat says that he has not been paid more than,
even
in fact, he's been paid less than $1 million.
Even $200,000. You are looking for money to build, and you are paying somebody money to look for money for you. There are so many churches which have Ghanaian populations in America. Huge populations. So if you even use these churches as a point of contact, you will be able to raise funds within the churches and pay your taxes and carry your money to do whatever you have to do. Do you need to incorporate another body in the US? Okay, they are saying that it is a CSO, so they need an address. But are you telling me that CSOs don't have functional offices? Because it's a non-profit. Non-profit, they have functional office, and as part of your fundraising, as you raise funds for a cause, you include your office. You include the staff who work in a non-profit. They have to be paid. If not paid, they should be given an allowance. So as part of your budget for fundraising, you need to put all these things in. You need a proper office. So it is a bit, the word is not coming, but it's a bit infantile for anybody to defend that they need an office where it can be any place just to receive letters. Then it means that there is, even this one brings the issue of a scam. Because if you have any office at all that you only receive letters but not identifiable, there's nobody sitting there, and when you go there the place is locked up, it's like a barn and all that, then it is not right. You see, the National Cathedral from the very beginning has been problematic. You remember a certain amount was taken and it wasn't taken to Parliament for approval, and they said it came from the contingency vote or something like. Do you get me? So it is all shrouded in some form of secrecy. And Bella, look at how much money we have spent, and we haven't even raised a pillar.
339 million Ghana cedis
Yes,
at the moment.
for a whole. Can you imagine?
We're expecting to spend some 80 million extra this year.
Yes, for a whole.
No, there's no 80 million for Cathedral this year.
There's no. It was in the budget.
The money
Lerato.
that money was applied to Parliament raised an issue. The 80 million was allocated to roads and communication.
Okay.
There's no 80 million.
So
for
the point is that
Cathedral
whether it is 80 million or not, whatever has been spent can build a cathedral for God. That money that has been spent to dig holes, it can build a cathedral for God. Now what we are doing is that we are importing the misuse of taxpayers' money. Yes, because now you are in the US, the money that you are raising is the taxpayers' money. And now the importation of the misuse of taxpayers' money is in motion. Because the funds that you are raising in the USA, who is accounting for it? Do you get who is accounting for it? Who knows how much has been raised? If you are paying even $20 to somebody to help you raise funds, you should see some form of evidence that the money that I paid is yielding some results. You see, Bella, we cannot continue doing these things. And I believe that nobody is against the building of a cathedral for God. But it should be done right. It should be done right. Because if you don't do it right, then you insult God. And if you insult God, you get the wrath of God. Because what God hates is for you to be dishonest, for you to lie. If you go into the Bible, Proverbs 6:16, one of the things that God abhors is deceit. And this is exactly what is happening. You are building God's temple and you are adding deceit to it. Why should it take somebody, a member of parliament, to unearth that there is a company? Of course, we all knew there was a company, but we didn't know the people who were in there. We thought that is the same people who are here who were in the US. But now we are hearing something different. So you have two companies. Why is that? Then are you maybe telling us that the people who are here, maybe they are not American citizens? So you should come and tell us. Maybe they cannot be members of the board because they are not American citizens.
You don't have to be a citizen.
I'm just asking. I mean, there should be a reason why all these pastors, they have churches. Do you think that if the government wants to raise transparent funds, they cannot use some of these ones, the bishops, the Archbishop. Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams has so many churches in the US. Dark Ward Mills has a lot of lighthouse. Everywhere you pass, you find a lighthouse church. Do you get me? Those churches, if these men of God are on the board in the US, wouldn't these churches be a point of fundraising? Genuine fundraising. This fundraising is shrouded in secrecy. It's as if somebody has the intention to do something else. Because why is it shrouded in secrecy? Because they should even come and declare and let us know how much they have raised. But nobody even knows that something like that is going on. And now you see this cathedral, and the beginning of this cathedral, it was said that it was the promise of the president to build a cathedral for God when he wins the election. I am so surprised that there's so much land outside Accra. If you want it to be a pilgrim, who wants to go on a pilgrimage in the middle of Accra? You could build it at Pram Pram, you could build it at Cape Coast, you could build it outside anywhere. That is where you say people are going on a pilgrimage. But you break down all these houses. We haven't even quantified how much those houses would have cost. Then you use 339 million, not even a foundation. We don't know what it is, whether you want to start some fish ponds before, you build or what. It is lying there. When it rains, it fills with water. When the sun shines, it dries up. And it is sitting there. And there's so much controversy around this. Bella, I think that there should be a halt
to the building of the cathedral.
Yes, where is the building?
But we're losing almost 400 million Ghana cedis anyway.
No, we have lost it. What was it used for? Haven't we lost it? Right now, what that money is gone. It's gone into what we do not know. Do you get me? And why do you even need to set up a secretariat to build God's house with staff, a communications person, this, that? Why? If you want to build God's house, why do you now? Are you starting an establishment? Are you starting an establishment? And I even asked the question. We have so many churches in this country. On Sunday, what is the purpose? The nation should come together as one and decide that this is what we are looking for. And as we are looking for this is what we want it to do for us. Because every Sunday I go to my church, you go to your church, Margot goes to church, Laratu goes to the mosque on Friday. We all have our places of worship. So this monument that we are putting down, they are talking about Bible museum, and we have Bibles at home.
Yeah, but this is supposed to attract people into the country.
But the
pilgrims into the country.
Please, the best Bible.
Religious tourism.
No, religious.
From what? Let me check the website.
You see, that's why I always say that then we have lost it.
Why?
You are making business out of God's house, a religious tourism. Then you have to build a grotto, a place where people will come and pray. Do you get me? A sanctuary. Not a cathedral.
Is that not part of what is being built?
No, but I am saying that you are going to make it a tourist attraction. Jesus said that my house, my Father's house, shall be called a house of prayer.
But if you go to Abu Dhabi, it's also attracting tourists to their mosque.
I am telling you that if you are building a cathedral for God, you don't mix. If you know the God you are serving, people make a mistake. That doesn't mean that we should also make a mistake. Do you get me? If you want to build a cathedral for God, and besides, how many people can go to Yamoussoukro, the basilica?
Yeah.
What has happened to it? How many people go on tourism? I am telling how many people go there. You see, when people are going on a spiritual tour, they are going to Israel. They are going there because they want an attachment to Jesus Christ. If people are going to Mecca, they want to go there because they want an attachment to Muhammad. So if you are going to build a cathedral and say it is going to be a tourist attraction, the people who are coming in their country, don't they have cathedrals bigger than that? They do. But if you are going to Israel or you are going to any of these nations you are talking about, there is an attachment. I don't just get up and go to Israel. I go to Israel because I want to go and see where Jesus cursed the fig tree. I want to go and see where Jesus was laid in the tomb. I want to go and see where Jesus was baptized. I should have an attachment, the Jordan River. I want to go and bring Jordan water and have an attachment. Do you get me? That is what it is. Here, which one is that? Which attachment are you going to have as you do your tourism? Is it Kweku free or Komfanoche?
There's a Bible restaurant. You go and eat there.
Oh, I mean how? Because
There's
you see,
Bible what?
Restaurants.
They've designed a restaurant.
And it's different from what
That is
the concept of what is being done.
You know they added a few more
no, but why do
designs
so
to
there's a place of worship.
the original plan.
If I'm worshiping God, yes, I have to go.
No,
and,
I think you need to check what they
no,
say
no,
they
no.
want to do.
You see, that is not what they want to
speak to it
What they
in
want
the
to.
Larissa, please hold on.
No, please hold on. What they want to do is negative for God, because you see, NanaAddos didn't say that God said that you should build him a tourist attraction. He said you should build me a house. I will build you a house of worship if you make me a president. And that is even a personal pledge. I always use the issue of Jephthah. When Jephthah came from, when he was going to war, he told God that, God, if I am victorious, the first person who meets me at the gate, I will sacrifice the person to you. And unfortunately or fortunately, when Jephthah got there, his only daughter was the one who came dancing, meeting the father who was victorious. Then he had to do it. So if you make a promise to God, you don't include people. You see, when it happened, Jephthah did not go and take his son's daughter to come and sacrifice. Do you get me? He did it because he promised God. He didn't promise God that, unless he promised God that he was going to do a tourist this thing.
We're not privy to the exact.
That
He
is
just told us that he said he'll build.
Yes, so
cathedral.
A cathedral, a house of prayer, a house of worship.
But you're asking that they put a stop to it or they halt
Yes,
the
they should
building.
halt the building.
You won't be the first person to say that. But as it stands now, if you look at what the Honorable MP has put out in part 2 of what he calls an expose, he says that I can now reveal in the spirit of truth and accountability that on the 2nd of September 2022, an additional application was made for another National Cathedral of Ghana and Bible Museum Foundation Incorporated to be incorporated in Illinois. This application was certified and approved on October 2, 2022. Interestingly, the articles of incorporation in my possession make Vernon Darko the president and director, Eric Otre Darko a secretary and director, and Paul Opoku-Mensah a director. These are the 3 people who were even listed in part 1 of his expose. So it doesn't look like they are pulling the brakes.
No, but they have
this
to
at the moment.
because it has become too murky, Bella. They have to.
But they are not listening to you.
No, but if they are not listening to me, they will listen to God. Because you see, God will lift his finger. And when God lifts his finger, you cannot fight him. They will listen to Jehovah himself, the consuming fire, the terrible one. That is his building we are joking with. Do you get it? Let me tell you, God does. You see, God lives in the hearts of men. The body of a man is the temple, but he also allows us to worship him in buildings. That is why when David wanted to build a temple for him, because David had a very close relationship with God. David is one of the few people God said, this is a man after my own heart. But when David wanted to build a cathedral for God, what did God tell him? He said that his hands has been soiled with blood. So his son, Solomon, will be the one to build it. And when Solomon was going to build the temple, God provided the resources for him to. There was no issues around it. So when you are building God's temple, and it is genuine from your heart that today I am doing this. Do you get me? I am doing this to make sure that God is glorified in the nation. You would not have controversy around. You would not use it as a conduit for making money.
Okay.
Do you get it? Because, Bella, as I said, that 339 million will build a cathedral for God. God doesn't need a museum, and everybody has a concordance in their home. Today, Bibles are on our phones. You sit and you read. You have concordances all over. Why do you have to get a Bible museum?
Margaret, so why